I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that
She's
is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can.
Rachel Zegler isn't just upset, she's fuming. And when Disney greenlit yet another Snow White remake, they didn't just stir controversy, they detonated it. In an era where online backlash travels faster than press releases, Rachel has officially hit her limit. If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online, she fired off, unleashing a storm online that had fans rallying to both defend and drag her. But what exactly triggered this eruption? And how did one of Disney's most treasured fairy tales spiral into one of the biggest PR nightmares Hollywood's seen in years? To trace it back, we have to rewind to October 2016. Disney, fully immersed in their live-action obsession, boldly announced their plan to modernize Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The reaction? A mix of curiosity and cautious side-eyes. Screenwriter Aaron Cressida Wilson came on board to reimagine the script, while La La Land and The Greatest Showman's musical duo Benj Pasek and Justin Paul were brought in for the score. Disney wasn't playing. They were aiming for cinematic gold, glitter, emotion, and spectacle. By May 2019, director Mark Webb of the Amazing Spider-Man fame joined the project. It was a left-field choice, but fans were intrigued to see how he'd handle the tale of poisoned apples and wicked queens. Then in June 2021, the internet imploded. Rachel Zegler was cast as the new Snow White. Fresh off West Side Story, Rachel was thrown into the Disney spotlight, and reactions were divided. Some celebrated the fresh casting. Others? Not so much. By November 2021, Gal Gadot, yes, Wonder Woman herself, was locked in as the evil queen. And let's be real, who wouldn't want to see Gal serving villainous realness in a velvet cloak, casting shade into a magic mirror? You're not playing Snow White, you're playing the iconic evil queen. Gal's energy had people hyped, until Disney threw a curveball in January 2022. They scrapped Prince Charming and introduced a new character, Jonathan, played by Andrew Burnap. Think Robin Hood, minus the crown. Fans were confused. Was this even Snow White anymore? By March 2022, sets were built, cameras rolled, and then they literally caught fire. Flames erupted on the forest set. No injuries, but the chaos was just getting started. Still, Disney pushed through, and by July 2022, the film was a full-on visual spectacle, grand sets, moody lighting, tons of CGI. But 2024's test screenings? Brutal. Audiences weren't buying it. Cue reshoots in June 2024, and suddenly, the entire project felt like it was spiraling. Then came the real punch. Actor Peter Dinklage publicly slammed the concept of rebooting a story with 7 dwarfs living in a cave. You're progressive in one way, but then you're still making that backwards story about 7 dwarfs living in a cave, he pointed out, sparking massive backlash. Disney tried damage control, calling them magical creatures and adding CGI. But that didn't stop members of the dwarfism community from calling the move hollow and performative. And if all of that wasn't enough, the heat shifted to Rachel Zegler. The backlash was fast and fierce. Some fans cheered for the casting of a Latina Snow White. Others were outraged, claiming Disney was rewriting fairy tale history. But let's be honest, this is a fantasy about talking animals and cursed fruit. Rachel didn't flinch. She proudly spoke about how Snow White resonates with the Spanish-speaking community and her dream to portray a version who leads instead of waits around for a prince. But then she shaded the 1937 classic as super dated and described her Snow White as a leader, not a damsel. That only poured more fuel on the fire. Things took a sharp political turn in August 2024. Disney dropped the teaser trailer, and the internet was instantly divided. While some were obsessed with the visuals and CGI deer, others slammed the dwarf-less casting, costume choices, and everything in between. Then, Rachel posted "Free Palestine" on social media, and boom, everything exploded. Her co-star Gal Gadot had openly supported Israel, and now the internet was in full meltdown mode. The division between the two stars turned painfully public. Fans called for boycotts. Comment sections turned into war zones. Rachel's old tweets resurfaced, ones where she clowned Trump and dragged his supporters. Now, it wasn't just about a movie. It was about politics, identity, and culture wars. By November 2024, Rachel tried to calm the storm, posting an emotional apology. "I can only hope that despite my flaws and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many that at every premiere and everything I do people will wait in line to see, but by then, the damage was done." Rumors started swirling about major tension on set. Whispers said Disney had to boost security for Gal after online threats. Press events stopped featuring both stars. Their silence spoke volumes. Behind the scenes, Disney's PR team was on high alert. Trailers were recut, interviews were scripted to the letter, and social media was under strict watch. Even red carpet premieres had this weird, tense energy you could feel through the screen. And then, the film finally premiered on March 21st, 2025. The numbers? Devastating. Just $42.2 million domestically in its first weekend. Overseas? Only $45.1 million. A total of $87.3 million opening for a film that reportedly cost up to $270 million? That's not just a flop. That's a financial faceplant. By early April, global gross hit just $147.2 million. Disney was now staring down a brutal $115 million loss. Rachel, still proud of her work, took the heat, but the aftershocks were real. Disney shelved the much-anticipated Tangled adaptation. They hit pause, waiting to see if Lilo and Stitch or Moana would bounce back the brand. Moana's live-action remake is now set for July 2026. Catherine Laga takes the lead, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is returning as Maui. It's directed by Thomas Kail with music from Lin-Manuel Miranda. Disney needs this one to land. But here's the real question. Are they pushing progress or just pushing buttons? Can their next round of live-action fairy tales survive the fallout from Snow White? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more celebrity face-offs, backstage drama, and the stories Hollywood doesn't want you to hear. Until next time, stay curious and stay watching.